Good morning, folks. Welcome back. So today I think we're going to go back into playing more with some desert canyons just because they're kind of fun. I had a few things I wanted to try. I think we'll probably try to put a structure in this one. I'm going to go ahead and delete the cube and create, I think today, just a plane and not a circle. Because we're going to do a little bit of initial work before we jump into our procedural tools. S. How big? We're going to go to 100 again. Quite a large space, rotation scale. And then I'm going to lay out the basics of the cube with the knife tool this time. We're going to come in here and go along like this. Canyon. Open that up like that. And that's going to be one side of our canyon. And then the other side, going to keep it kind of narrow in. Something like that, I think, is what we're going to do. And then we're going to grab this and this. And E, how high we want to go? Let's just go up to there. Maybe we want to put a person in here to check for our scale. Let's do that. I'm pretty comfortable with where we are, but it's never a bad idea. Cool. Yep, that seems about right. Okay. Alrighty. So now we're going to retopologize this so we can actually use it for something. So let's go to quad remesh and quad count of, let's try 300. It's probably not enough, but let's see. Remesh it. Oh, select it. Remesh it. Yeah, it's not bad. I think we can do that. And that's given us that. Sweet. We're going to use that. Now we're going to come in here and use our curve, Bezier curve. Things get more powerful when you layer tools on top of tools. Did I just do a point? Yeah. Oops. Let's just redo the whole thing. There's a curve there. And yeah, I'm not liking that one. Let's get rid of that one. We'll see where I'm kind of going here. Let's do one, geez, along here like that first. Okay, that's good. Object mode, and we're going to come to grab this thing and add a modifier, terrain, draw terrain. Interesting. Okay, well, let's kill a base subdivision. No. Select that. There we go. Grab this. Up. Cool. Let's spread it. Like that. Cool. I like it, but I actually want to, I think I'm just going to select L. Let's do sharp. Yep. L. And L. X faces. And then here, we'll let that one live around the edge. X faces. And then L. Cool. And L. Just get rid of those ones we don't need around the edges. Hey, Unquiet, good to see you. There we go. And that's back on. It's looking all right. Let's come into our Bez curve. And actually, we can just edit it, tab. And I want to do A, W, subdivide it. 1, Gonna select an individual thing on it. Turn on that. Turn on random and G. Cool. There we go. Creates a more interesting looking line. Liking that. That's with the subdivision. Let's see without the subdivision. Now let's leave it on. We want the first one. Okay. Cool. Now let's do another one. Curve Bezier and tab X vertices and then draw along there. That one's going to be different because it's going up, but that's fine. Object mode to here. Let's just duplicate, add another modifier, trainer base. Not trainer base, the wrong one. Remove trainer base. Draw terrain. Draw terrain. That's what we want. Not a base subdivision this time. And select that curve. And bring that curve up. Again, spread it. Like that. Cool. That's looking kind of fun. I'm liking that. Great. Now, let's do one more. Curve, Bezier curve. Now let's follow along here. There we go. Like that. Add a modifier, terrain, draw terrain, no subdivision, select what will be our river. Then we can take out this one and GZ and bring it down. And give us a riverbed along there. We can even, excuse me, top plateau of like 2, 4, yeah, and smooth. This will grab everything, but that's fine. Great. Looking kind of cool. I like it. Now, the one thing I wanted to do here, before I applied any of these, is I'm curious about, I'm just going to hide them so I don't see them. Can I take these faces here and GX? Let's go to smooth. Bring that in. Connected only. So we get kind of a canyon that goes on, you know, it's squishing in towards itself, which happens sometimes like this. If the canyon was caused by erosion, because it actually eroded underneath the top over time. So we're just going to narrow the tops of our canyon in. I think that's just going to be neat looking. Going to give us a really different vibe. We want it to feel kind of enclosed. Let's see what that does. Does it give us anything? It's a little weird on that one, isn't it? Let's see. This one. Let me just move it over a little bit, make it a little bit better. Does it work, or is it kind of cutting into it more? It's doing some interesting things. It's not really giving me what I wanted, though, because it's cutting down through the whole thing, sadly. Well, okay, that's fine. We're just going to have to do it the other way then. But I actually kind of dig that. I'm going to take this one here and also bring it more that way. Cool. Let's just see what we get. Let's apply all. Sometimes it's fun just to be like, I'm going to do stuff, and then we're going to see what happens. Which is kind of where we're at right now. Delete. Actually, let's keep that one just in case. Delete those ones. This thing here, what does this look like? It's kind of ugly. Let's try remeshing it. Quad count, we're at 60,000. Let's take it to 30,000 faces. Not 3, 30. 30,000 faces. Remesh it. It's gonna think for a second. That's way better. Okay, now can we? 3. No, the other direction. Yes, that way. Fine. This will be a little bit weird, but you know, whatever. G. So we're bringing that top in that way. Multiple ways to skin the cat, you know? No one asked the cat how they felt about that, though. Ooh, not that. But we can just grab that to that, and there we go. That'll be cool. Nice. And then here, and kind of fold it on top of itself a little bit. But not too much. Maybe a little more up here. Okay. It's going to give us this sort of much more compressed canyon. Save. And you 2503 311 live stream canyon. I really like how we've sort of used the different methodologies to get something that we controlled. Like we wanted this canyon space here, but we've also kind of be a little bit wild. And now we're going to sculpt it here and just smooth down some of this there. Some of the things that I see that are a little bit weird. Before we go ahead and add in our auto trainer. Yeah, just get that smoothed down. Just a few things where it's like it pinched itself weirdly. And we're going to care. Seems okay. Let's just do that there. I think this might be a problem for us there. I don't want to do too much because I don't want to get rid of all the fun stuff, but just a little bit. Okay. Cool. Save. And we're at 70,000 faces on this sucker. I'll try quad remeshing it one more time to 40,000. See if it'll shrink it. Not really. Fine. I think I might even made it bigger. Whatever. Just going to take it a little longer with quad remesh or with auto train. Save. Add a modifier. Trainer base. I don't really like using it on much over about, this is about the upper limit. It just starts to take too long. what? That's not bad. Let's set our mesh resolution to 2 just for right now. Make it faster. And then our strength on the verticals to 10. That'll flatten it in more so we don't squish it out so much. That's looking really good. Getting that there. Could even go a little bit shorter. 5. Okay, yeah, 5, and it keeps that apart. Still looks rocky though. And we already gave it enough mods that I'm not worried about enough terrain changes, which is normally what those strengths are for, but we kind of did this. We're just doing this now for our micro detail more than anything else. That looks good. Let's save it. It's a mesh resolution of 3, see if it makes a difference. Nah, not really. It's decimating to 1/4 of a meter anyway, so. All right. That looks nice. Let's apply it. And that is how you make a wonky ass canyon that still looks the way you want it to look. Now, the only thing I still want to do on this that I maybe should have done before, but it doesn't matter, is tab. Almost certainly should have done before. And GZ5 with a proportional size of 150, 200, 225. Okay. Now we've raised up that, so we should have, look at it sideways, it should have a slight angle down now to our river. We would think. We're going to hope. Okay. Now, we're going to add some water. I think we'll use cell fluids just because it's cheap. Size X and Y. Y is going to be 200, right? Maybe a little bit more. Yeah. X is going to be, I'm going to say 100. Is that going to be enough? No. 150. There we go. Okay, that's looking about right for our domain. And then the height of our domain doesn't even really matter, but we'll go with 50. Okay, and then 1, and then take it down just a little bit into our water. Morning, Patrick. So let's save. Okay, so this we're going to move to ground. And then we're going to set our end to 1,000. And we set our top ones over here. Yes. So here, Shift A, mesh, cube, S4. Great. Up. M, new collection, inflow. Now let's go to our water. Collections, inflow, ground, and let's see what we get. Save first. It's not getting me very far, is it? This is a very big terrain, too. All right. Pause. Let's rewind. First off, let's take this thing all the way into our terrain. There we go. So we might as well hopefully getting more water that way. Second, tab. Let's see. Grab that. Cool. Shift D, duplicate it, P, separate by section, come out. Select the other one. Should still be in ground, right? You want the smaller one. Yep, there we go. I'm going to move that to initial. GZ to bring it up. And Q, add modifier solidify. There we go. Apply all. Now, come back to our water thing, and our initial can be initial. And let's play. See if that works for us better. Looks like it might be. And we're thinking, I can even hide initial and inflow now so we can just see the water. That's looking better. We're getting more water from our inflow, but clearly the majority of it, initial water, came from that, well, initial. That feels pretty good. I'm sure we need a lot more than that. Let's pause. Just take a look and see what we got. Does still do some weird things here. Sadly, because of the way this tool works, it doesn't do overhangs well. So we get that, which is a problem. But we have some options too. Kind of liking it. First off, we could just cover it up, cover those edges up once it's done. But yeah, you can see here where it can't get a line down, it gives an error because it's not a real water sim. And that's just a pain in my ass, but what are you going to do, huh? All right. I think it goes far enough. We're good with that. Let's bake it. Big static flow map. And that gives us that. Now, what happens if we just take that and stretch it slightly, or just grow it slightly? Don't want to do that because we're going to lose the edge. We might just have to come here and stretch it with, what you call it? Sculpting. Certainly would be an option. To drag that, drag that, drag that. Turn it back on. Yeah, it's looking better. I want it to go up is the problem. That looks better, doesn't it? Think so? Yeah. Doing okay here. Here, still a little weird. Let's drag that over. The advantage we have by not needing it to be actually what you call it, animated, is we can kind of just play with this stuff here. As long as it looks right, it is right. Let's see where it's not right there. Come on. Let's come closer. We're also not going to walk along every part of this river, so it's not going to make a huge difference, but it's going up a bit there. We don't want to go up that high to be screwing up. Undo, 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 undo. There we go. Let's just set our cursor here. Oh, it doesn't even show me anyway. Come on. Fine. Just grab these. Drag them this way. There we go. That should do it. And we're top down, so we shouldn't be affecting other stuff. That looks okay. Right here, we can pull that a little more. Get bigger. There we go. Always cheat. Okay. That's fine. Great. Again, I don't know if we're going to be looking through every section of this canyon anyway. See what we got. Water rushing down our canyon. Gets a little weird here, but that's where we stretched it. Shocking. But it's actually not bad. Kind of just makes it look like white water. Yeah. Photographer. Let's expose up. And see better. And 7.5. And yeah. Yeah, that's kind of weird, but not bad. Let's just, there we go. It's narrow there. Let's just bring it up. There we go. And no one going to notice but us. Really, all we just need is some water. This is probably going to be our primary area we're looking at anyway. And it looks fine. Cool. Object mode. Right here. So fluids. We can still enable and disable splashes on this one. Cool. Enable splashes. Sure. Let's see. Is there anything else we want to tweak on it? I think it's fine. Applying clear data. There we go. That I'm not super into being so rough, but we'll see if we can figure it out later. All right, we like that. Don't even mind the terrain on this one. I could change it, but I think I'm liking the rock ground mixture here. That looks really cool. And I'm really liking those leaning in canyon type things. I feel like it's just good. Because rocks don't just expand. That's the problem with most terrains in 3D, is because they're height maps, they pretty much only go up and in. They never go over themselves, which isn't very realistic. And we've helped that a lot here. We could even do more if we wanted to. Now that we've done this, which maybe what we should have done before is not edit mode. We could have put the water in before we did that, and it might have been better, but yeah, whatever. Drag that, pull that more, pull that more, that more. Just to give us some real interesting overhangs. Our canyon. Yeah, something like that. There's no question that it's eroded underneath the rock and given us this really interesting landscape. Let's save. Okay. It's also going to be a real pain in my ass to build around just because you've got all this stuff, but that's part of the fun, right? Okay. So we want to build a structure, I think, here of some kind. Mesh, cylinder, 7, the radius of 4, 8 meters. So that's a 8-meter size building. That's an acceptable size building. A depth of 3. Let's move it over to here. Okay. And I think we do kind of want it floating in the air like that. We need to go grab our chosen settlement. Yep. Get our geometry nodes. That's 1 story. I'm going to make this one 2 stories. Cool. And then move it over to here. Rotate it like that. We have 2. Maybe we'll do 3. Even like that. And we'll make this one 3 stories. So we can see we're laying out the basic structure before we think too much about it. That looks all right. Now, line up like that. Okay. And they're clearly going to stand on top of things too. Let's just grab that. So they're going to be on stilts, as it were. Shift D, P section, tab. Take that, tab A, individual origins, scale up to like that. Good deal. I feel like that's going to be big enough, but let's, yeah, that's easily going to be big enough. Where's our person? There you are. Oh, we can make it a bit bigger, actually. There we go. Okay. Cool. Let me just look at those now. And inset. Let's not do it quite that way. Let's just look. Tab. Inset. Great. Then inset again. Cool. Then bridge edge loops. Bridge edge loops. Get that structure. And I like that that kind of goes into the ground here. Although actually, we could. Maybe I don't like it. If I don't like it, bring it up to there, and that is, let's bring up 1.5, because then I'll need to bring this up 1.5, and that'll work. And then maybe if we're gonna do it that way, those two faces, and we'll see what it looks like. Save. I'm going to come over to our, where am I? I pull it up. There it is, this one. Grab this guy, and again, we want to make sure we turn off ground so it doesn't bring it across. Copy it. Excuse me. Collection, paste. Okay. Then this to this, link modifiers. Great. Looking good so far. I like that. Actually, kind of like that too, so we have to do it. And base, now we can give it ground again. And ground. There we go. Okay, so looking at that, tab. I think let's turn it off in our edit mode so we can see what we're doing here. And have that across there. And bevel it to there. Sure, and then across there. Because that looked cool. Yep. And then, do we want them leaning out base angle? I kind of like it. Pillars every one. Does it give us more? Yeah, a few more. That's all right. Let's do that. Oh, it's length. Distance, maximum distance between pillars. 2. Cool. Oh, subdivision. Let's go 1.5. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Okay. We got pillars. So this one's going to be a little different because they're small enough that they're not going to necessarily be structures inside on these. The courtyard is going to be the outside. It'd be slightly strange for these people. Okay. Might do some more though. We're certainly going to put a window on top if we do that though. All right. Anyway, collection. Just thinking to myself here. Grab this bad boy. Yes. Copy objects. And paste. Yay! Love it when it works. Let's just get it the hell out of our way. Great. Okay, so then this to this link materials. And the first thing we're going to do then is give it a empty wall A, assign all. Cool. And then link modifiers. And come back over to here and tab. And now I think we want to separate them out because they're different heights at least. So very least two of them need to be different, but by loose parts. They're each one now. Okay, great. Then 3, Shift S2. This object set origin 3D cursor, fixes the base. We gotta do the same for the other two. Tab. Object set origin 3D cursor, fixes that one. Tab. Okay, all three of them are good. Okay, and we have 3 buildings in our space now. Let's focus on them one at a time. And let's start with this one. Okay, let's bring our guy over to there. Select those 2 things and do that. I see that our guy doesn't have a skin, but that's kind of good enough. As long as I get his size, I don't really care. So I don't know if we really want to cut down the walls too much. I think it's not that big a building. Let's see. Buildings, not people. Auto building. Walls. So tab 3. We know we want that to be a door. Assign. Then these around here, we want to be maybe one of the cool looking windows, E. Those are the ones that have the actual awnings and stuff. And then here and here, maybe we want those to be D for triple windows. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, something like that's all right. Do we want to add more triple windows? I mean, we could. Hey, Michael, I understand. Me and the horrors are much the same way right now. Cool. It's a very basic building, but it works for what we need. We're going to do the same kind of thing for this guy. That one and this one are going to be doors this time. I think this one, this entire realm is going to be window E's, and this entire row is going to be window D's. And then that. Sure, window D's. Cool. That's working for us. Save again. This bad boy over here, I think, tab, this is going to be a wall B, a bigger door. This is going to be a wall A. And these are all going to be wall D, or yeah, triple windows. Cool. Now, maybe these should go down to the ground. I don't know. Like, we could add a sub-basement level down here kind of thing. Or maybe we just let them sit on top of these metal platforms. I'm kind of okay either way on that. I think this one here, I'm going to do, and again, more interesting stuff. Dot inset, cool, E3, and we'll make, again, this be wall A, and those be wall D. So that does that. Cool. Just for essentially interest. And then here, EZ1 P section. Split it off. Yes, I know. Come on. This thing. Remove that. And joint to that. There we go. Railing. Cool. Now, here on this sucker, let's just take it out to here. Sure. No, I don't want to do that. I'm actually going to go circle 7, 7, radius of 4, 6. Cool. Good deal. 5. Cool. And then fill it. 1. Cool. 7. That's right. GZ up to there. And then, of course, 2. Fill. And 3, 7. Inset. That's roughly the same. Inset again. Face, poke faces. And then add that. Maybe one more. Yeah. I love this platform generator. It's just so much fun for just throwing stuff up like this quick. There's our, I guess, probably a landing pad is what I'm thinking it's going to be. And then from here, don't think we want to select the landing pad because it might need bigger space. So let's go from there to there. And then even here. But from here, EZ1. And give it a railing. So the living area has a railing, but the landing pad does not, because you might technically need a vehicle with bigger wings or whatever to come in there, and you wouldn't want to limit it off like that. That's working for me, I think. Could get crazy. 10, come on, there it is. Okay, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's take that. Yes. And EZ minus 1.5. Okay. And Alt E, extrude edges, scale. not a good way to do it. We want to do this. Scale. I'd like to get each one out. Oh, I know how to do it. There we go. Normals. Oh, it does have to have the normals lined up right. Let's make sure those are good. All right. Shift N, recalculate normals. Great. Let's just make sure they're right. Yeah, all that's, well, that's all wonky, isn't it? L, Shift N, there we go. That's right. And then I don't think it matters for these, but Shift N. Recalculate normals. There we go. Okay, all those are right now. Good. Now 3, select that. 7. Alt-E along normals. Offset even. Great. And 3. X faces. That one. Cool. Yeah, man. Control E, bridge edge loops. Yes. Okay, then these are too high. X faces. And Shift N. All this to give us that underlayer there, which I just think is fun. And tab, and I can actually, don't even really need that there, but let's Shift D and go with normal. Bring it out, shrink it in. Actually, let's not even do that. 2. Bring it out. Yes. And no. Shrink it in. Come on. Great. We'll just do it this way then. Piss off. Interesting. Tab. I just want to see what it gives us then. Good enough. We'll do it that way. And 2. X edge. I'm going to do a bit of cleanup here. And 3, Shift D. And that's better. I wonder if we got a weird one there, though. No. Interesting. 2, Control R, and edge loop around the edge. Let's see what that does. See if that fixes that. That's better. Yeah, that looks much better. I don't know why we're getting some weird in the middle here. Tab A. Oh, I do. Of course I do. Okay. There we go. That should fix that. Nope. Didn't actually. A. Merge by distance. 34 vertices. Better. Is that better? better. Still got a weird connecting thing there. I don't know what it's doing there. Interesting. Well, let's just see. No, I can't delete those. What's the causing of that? And how visible is it in real life? There are weird extra lines floating around. Yeah, there are. That's annoying. Tab. All right. Well, then what we're going to do, it's simple enough, really, I think, is C. Well, let's just Z6 first. There we go. C. That one. P section. Great. Tab this one. P section. Is there something else disconnected that I'm not aware of? Let's see. I feel like I have extra vertices floating around here that are causing me weirdness. Object mode. Okay, I do. These should be. See, this will help. P section. And I'm just gonna cut things apart till it works, basically. It looks like it's getting there. L, P section. So that one's still, oh yeah, extra lines here. One, those don't need to be there. Does that got it? That looks better. Looks like we got, oh, we're still getting some. Is it from this one? Yes, and I bet you it has extra lines somewhere. Yes. Or just to an origin. 3, L, control 1, control I, X vertices. And object set origin to geometry. There we go. Weird. All right, fixed. I don't know. Don't care. Dug a little bit, but we got it. We don't want railings there, though. Let me just get rid of those. Yep. Cool. And we can put railings around this one now. I'm in normal. Did it work? Yeah, it didn't. Because I'm in normal. Global. Easy one. Now it will. There we go. Nice. Just gives us a bit more. All that to create, you know, a strange second level, but it's fun. And I like it. Or maybe here, actually. Let's get rid of these. So there's a way down to the water, too. Which no one but me may ever notice. All right. Now, we're at like an hour. Cool. We need to start doing a little bit of detailing on this roof. And then we're going to just start doing some plant life. I don't know what we're going to put up here, though. I have not decided. We need some things on the roof. They just feel too empty otherwise. We haven't used one of Kai's antennas in a hot minute. Maybe we use that. I always like these antennas. Just kind of line it up. Just for funsies. Oh, it's too big. Is that better? That's better. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that there. Empire of the Sands. Is there anything cool in here we want to use? Lots of pipes and stuff. If we want to be very, like, dirty looking. What's that? I'm not sure what that is. So those like barrels. Let's look and see. Yeah, those are, I mean, they're just kind of greebly, but they do look like barrels. I don't really like them that much. I'm scared of them. They look like garbage. There's something else in its place. Cool. Yeah. Again, it doesn't need to be a lot. We just want a few little things. Come back and do it later, too. That's close enough. Take a look. Sure. Fine. And then I think we're going to come into these, and we just want to take this and make it into a roof. Flat. I think that's going to give us like a, does it give us anything? No, it doesn't even give us a rim on this one. There's not much point in that, is there? All right, we're not going to bother. And this, does it have a material? Oh, it's Greebles 2. Let's just see what that does if we get on that. Sure. That looks cool. Love it when that happens. I'm going to turn off face orientation. And we want something on this roof here as well. I think we'll grab something of mine. Is it unassigned? Where do I keep this thing? There it is. Yes. The Super Toroid. Oft used. One of my favorite weird little greeble things I've made. RX 180. Scale it up. Again, I'm not going to line this up actually. I'm just going to do it by hand. And I. The super toroid, yes, totally. I just think it's a fun looking little thing. We might do more to here, but I think that'll give us a good start. We got our bird's nest, got our stuff. Let's jump onto this sucker. Now, okay, water needs to move to our water group, which we don't want cap locks on. Okay, water's in water. Now, what have I left in collection that I don't want here? I'm sure there's stuff. Yes, I don't want any of this in collection. So I can close this group. And have it just be the elements. Yeah. Cool. Good deal. Save. Okay. Anyway. Geoscatter. Select our ground. Now, what do we want? I think we might go with dry 3. Yeah, dry 3. I'm liking this one a lot, actually, lately. It's just 2 rocks and a grass, but it kind of works. And we're going to need to tweak it, obviously. It takes it a second because it's a big landscape. But hopefully it's getting somewhere. We shall see. Come on. Still going. So incidentally, what you do if you don't want to run through this and you think about it is you put a cube off in the corner, you apply your geometry, your geoscatter to the cube, and then you turn off geoscatter before you reapply it to your landscape. And then geoscatter is enabled but turned off, and it doesn't take forever like this, which is what I should have done, but I didn't. But just as an FYI, that's what you do. Okay, now it should be good. Right? Yeah. You're going to give me a warning message or some shit? No. Okay. It's probably sitting somewhere. Anyway, we're going to take this one and we're going to add our usual obstructions. We're going to put water in it. Then we're going to take our 3 buildings. New collection to structures. And we're going to move that into obstructions. Love the English language. And these, just to be sure, new collection platforms. And we're not going to put them there yet, but we just want to have them organized so we could use them if we needed to. All right, so first off, Rocks can really go anywhere, but grass should have an upward obstruction of obstructions. Culling masks, upward obstructions. Come on. I'm just going to turn it off then and stop thinking of obstructions, or even just water. Could have grass underneath the other thing, technically. Let's just do that. Great. And it's going to have a instances of like 50. We'll cut it way down. And it's going to go abiotic for slope, clearly. And not absolute slope. 15 is pretty flat, but let's just start there. Rock 1 is our bigger rock. It can obviously go underwater, that's fine. But it should also have a slope limit and should also not allow absolute slope. And rock 2. Slope. Come on. An absolute slope. All right, and we're going to save. And we're going to turn on rock 1. It should be the least. And we're going to cut it down too, because it makes a bunch of them. We don't need that many. I just remember that from before. Rock 1, we're going to cut it to twice was good. I believe, I think we cut it in half twice. Okay, save. Turn it on. And turn it on. We get rocks. I don't really need things at the top here, and it's going to make our life much easier if we do that too. So let's figure out what our height max for this should be too. Elevation. Altitude. Because we're not really planning on going much out of this canyon if we can avoid it. I think we're just going to look inside. Yeah, and minimum is going to be minus 50. I just want to make sure it goes all the way down to the bottom, whatever that would be. And it does. And our maximum $25. $25 seems about right, actually. Maybe we'll go to 30. To let it go right to the rim, initial rim of that canyon. So if we look up, we might see some in the silhouette. Yeah, like here. Cool. So 30s are going to be our max height on this. I think we're going to do the same thing with grass too, which will cut it down tremendously. Elevation. It's just good numbers to remember. Our negative, we're going to go low. It doesn't matter because we want it to go all the way to the bottom. But 30 is our maximum height. I think with grass, I might go to 30. Yeah, I might go 35 or 30 with a 5. Transition to. Come on. There we go. Grass. 30. Or the transition of 5. So grass will go a little further than the rocks will, which is probably dumb, but yeah, why not? And then small rocks, let's do the same thing just to keep our life easy. Just got rocks 2. Elevation. Altitude. I don't think I changed the bottom on grass, did I? Why is my encoding overloaded? Piss off. I don't have that much going on. We could, I guess, get rid of this thing. See if that helps. Elevation 30. Minimum minus 50. I don't think I changed the minimum on grass. Let's do that too. That might actually have helped. Shocking to have less Blender out files going. Okay. Grass. Elevation, yeah, I didn't. Minus 50. Control save. I'm going to turn on geoscatter. Shouldn't actually be that many now. It's got to calculate where they go, but in terms of the actual memory of putting them there, it's not really that much because so much of this is not flat. Grass. Cool. Something weird spiking out to all the way through there, but it's underground, so I don't know if I care. What's this? Let's just look at it. Object, set origin, origin to geometry. See if that helps. No. Solo it. Oh, it's got some weird shit going on, doesn't it? All right. Tab. L1. Yeah. Where are those things going? Coming out of there and there. Distance, none. All right, I see. I think. One, two, three, four. Yeah. Okay, let's see if that does it. Will that fix it? Let's just try this then. Undo that. Control X. And 3 face poke faces. That might do it. Yeah, that does it. Doesn't like having those 7-sided faces in the middle. I'll do this one too, just while I'm thinking about it. Face, poke faces. Cool. That's better. And this one. Cool. Because all the garbage is happening underneath in the middle, underneath that building, it really doesn't matter, but does this one still got one? Or did I fix it? No, I fixed that one. I think I'm going to get rid of this face and this face, though. Yeah, that's better. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So let's take a look again. How are we looking down here in our space? I feel like grass could maybe be a bit more angle tolerant. So set our slope from 15 to like 25. Okay. I do think that is better. Yes. Then I want to do, let's see, let's turn off geoscatter. I want to take a big rock, right? Yes. Big rock, and I want to duplicate it. Copy selected system. And then I want to paste selected system. I do not want it synchronized. I just want another copy of rock outside of my dry biome. She doesn't even really need to be that. You're thinking, come on. Come on. You can do it. Great. Turn off this one entirely. Just don't want to think about it. Okay. This rock, I want, don't care about elevation anymore. Don't really care about slope anymore. I care about proximity. To water. And I want it to be close to water, not far away from it. And then distribution. We're going to give it another random seed. So it's not the same as the other one. Come on. Great. Save. I'll turn it on. It better not change this one. I'm going to be pissed if it has, because I did not synchronize. But let's see. Rocks there. Let me just turn this one back on too, see if it still gives me my other rocks. It better. Yes, it does. Okay. Just confirm, turn that one off. And that should be all the other rocks, right? Yes. Okay, this one. We're going to go increase our instances to 3. And we got rocks kind of coming around that ledge area. It's a little weird, but not bad. We could do a slope. Of 75. That's better. Yeah. And then let's increase our instances to 8. Is that too many? Doesn't really look like it's spreading out much. Where's our pattern? No. Where's pattern? Pattern. There we go. None. None is what we want, but clearly we want way less. Let's go to instances of 1. Maybe even less than that now. That looks okay. I just want rocks going around the edges, clearly. Yeah, I dig that. Then I think I'm just going to place a few trees on our own now. We're not going to throw a palm tree there. And what group is, where is that going? I don't want it in a group. It's in obstructions. I don't want it in obstructions. Move to scene collection. Scene collection. Great. Let's do another one. Come on. And I think one right here too. Great. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, one more. Okay. Cool. That feels pretty good to me. Obviously, it's hard to get a good sense of everything because there's a lot of that looks fucked up to me. Not like in this 3x faces. I'm just gonna go my own now. 2 dot. Let's see. Easy. There we go. That's better. You got stairs on the other side, right? But that's fine. I kind of like the latter too. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't touch, but not worried. Anyway, okay, that's looking better. Let's grab a new sky. We got a new one from HDR, or sorry, from mappaint.com yesterday. There's 70, and I haven't looked at it at all. So let's see what it's got. Apparently, it's the first one they've done that does dawn to dusk, so it's going to give us sort of everything. Interesting. Yeah, lots of cool stuff there. Had a good day too. 2412. Yeah, it's a huge one. There's tons of it in this one. EXR. So let's just see what I'm just gonna 2840. So, and the first one is 1000. So, I can't count anymore. 1700, like search, something like that. Should be a little more than that, like 1900, right? I was looking for something that's like right in the middle of the day. That'll be close enough. Okay, and I'm going to turn off geoscatter just because you're going to piss me off otherwise. Yes. Oh yeah, that is exactly what I was hoping we'd get. Is some nice kind of like nice diffuse light coming down in there. Feels very middle of the day. Beautiful. Something like that. Let's just go in a little bit, down a little bit. And photographer, camera, theory Alexa. The anamorphic lens. We're going wide. And then we're going wide. So we can come in a little bit. It's one option. I kind of like that. Let's set that as a camera. Let's try one other one first, and then we'll see. You're thinking. Okay. Camera one. Let's come over more on from the other side. Where am I? Actually, that's just kind of cool on its own. We might do a top-down as the establisher on this one. Yeah, there's a certain truth to that. and 500. There we go. A little higher so I get more sense that it's a canyon. That's pretty good. Focus on, yeah, that building, sure. It's kind of the one in the foreground. Cool. I didn't set a focus on the other one, did I? No. And did I set my camera clip end 500 as well? There we go. Focus. Yeah, me too. Can't really claim credit for it. It's just the stock thing it came, but I do like it. That's working for me. Let's try one more camera. Okay. Oh. Great. I copied the wrong camera. Well, it's fine. I didn't mean to copy that camera, but, you know, whatever. This is also good. That's pretty as well. Yeah, there's some good shots here. We're liking this one. Focus there. And then, while we're at it, we'll just do our fourth. I don't know which one we use. One. Duplicate it. Our fourth camera is going to be, yep, starts from there again. So we got one more weirdness thing going on I haven't noticed. Well, we can fix that. So it's coming from this one. Yeah. Tab. AM distance. Okay, there's nothing weird there. One. Yeah, those are good. Where's the object origin for this? Oh, it's there. One, Shift S2, tab, object, set origin, 3D cursor. See if that fixes it. Yep. Goodbye. Fixed. Something like that is our third, so we're in. Obviously, we don't want the human there, but let's see. Seems good to me. So we have 1, just unselecting, 2, 3, 4. Kind of liking this for our default, I think, actually. Let's save it and turn on geoscatter. Just make sure I don't have a rock in my face or something. Nope, we don't. That should be excellent. All right, folks. I think we're going to call it there. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. I appreciate it. And hope you found it interesting. And yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow for another one. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Take care, and we will see you later. All right, folks. Bye.